Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most viewed, underviewed podcast of all time. Welcome to the Prince of Fresh Air. I am, of course, your host, the beloved, the most charismatic man entertainment. Welcome back to another charismatic experience. And I'm truly ecstatic to have this next guest on because, I had Martin Lawrence call me. I had Will Smith calling me asking, when am I going to be a guest on the podcast? But I said, wait, I got to have him on first. And the reason why I mention those names is because, if you know of Will Smith and you know of Martin Lawrence, you know about Bad Boys. Bad Boys 1, 2, 3, and currently out movie theaters right now, Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die. And you know who this actor is because everybody knows him as Reggie. And it's truly honored to have him on the podcast. Just a small kid from the Bronx who got a big break. He took an opportunity and a chance on himself, and he made himself a big name in Hollywood. And I'm truly excited to have him on. So please help me welcome and introduce from Bad Boys, Reggie, a.k.a. Dennis McDonald. Welcome to the podcast, man. How's everything?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. It's truly an honor for me, because, you're doing all these press conferences and tours and you're enjoying the fruits of your labor right now. So I thank you for taking the opportunity to give little on me a chance to have you on. So, like I said, everybody knows you as Reggie, but I feel like a lot of people don't know you as that actor yourself. So let's just go back a little bit right before you got into Bad Boys. I mentioned you're from the Bronx, and I did read that basketball was your number one passion. So, growing up in the Bronx, was acting your number one passion? And how did you what was growing up like for you?
No, basketball was my number one passion. Like I wanted to play ball. I wanted to be just like Kobe Bryant, just like Michael Jordan, and I just went on doing that.
Okay, perfect. And when did you decide to get into acting? Was Bad Boys just something that it was just an opportunity to present itself, or you already had some prior experience beforehand?
No, I was working at a Boys and Girls Club, and I was playing basketball there, and there's a guy named Johnny Isaac. He's one of the first Harlem basketball players. He had a sign that said, "If you want to be in Bad Boys 2, call a number." Bad Boys 1 was my favorite movie, though, so I just went for the role.
Interesting. So I'm an actor too, and a lot of people don't know how the process is. So for you, this was your first big major project, and especially with two big A-listers like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. So what was the process like behind the scenes for you? Like, was there a lot of auditions? Was there like a camera test with Martin and Will and stuff like that? Could you just share a little bit behind of how that all came about?
Oh well, actually faxed me the script right to the Boys and Girls Club where I was working at, and I would read the script every day. Get my lines ready, and then when I went to do the audition, I was like somewhere downtown on Canal Street. It was like 20, 30 kids just sitting there waiting to be auditioned for the movie. So, but I wasn't with Martin and Will. I was with like two other people doing the casting. So that's how that went.
Oh wow. What was it? Was it a tedious process? Because I know sometimes when it comes to like major roles like this, there's a lot of camera tests, a lot of callbacks. You gotta constantly keep coming. Was it like when you first auditioned, you already knew like, all right, I got the role? Was there, you had to keep coming back for that?
No, actually, after I did the role by myself, I had to do it again with Bianca. They called me back to do it again with Bianca, that plays my wife in the movie.
Right.
And then after that, they didn't call me back for like probably it felt like 3 weeks, but it's probably like a week. So I called them back, and when I called them, they asked me my name. I told them my name. They was like, "Oh, yeah, we were just about to call you. We're gonna be flying you out to Miami to go do the movie and stuff like that." And I was like, "Okay, all right." And that's when I knew I got the part.
Wow, that's crazy. The fact that you got your biggest role I think you was 15 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I was like 15 years old.
Wow. So what was the experience when you got onto set? Like, so I'll just mention it right off the bat. Everybody knows the iconic scene with you, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. And I know, being an actor myself, there's a lot of takes, a lot of stuff involved. So when you were shooting, a little bit behind the scenes from that, was there a lot of takes, a lot of, you broke character? Were you nervous when you was shooting that scene with them?
Yeah, I broke character a couple times. Like, I'm a new actor. I never acted in my life. And this is Martin Lawrence and Will. So I guess the first time Martin knocked on the door, I knocked on the door. Martin was like, Martin opens the door, and I'm like, oh, I came to pick up Martin's daughter. Not saying Marcus's daughter. I said Martin. So we all started laughing. When they throw me on up against the wall and he's patting me down, I'm laughing, coming right back. Playing character with them too, that's like the biggest job because they're so funny. Like, and you just already know them for being funny. So that's how that works.
Yeah. So when it came to your character, the director, there's a lot of people involved when it comes to character work. Did Will and Martin talk to you about, all right, we want you to do it this way, or we want you to approach the scene a different way? Like, how was that? Like, when it came to the multiple takes of stuff, did they have input on your character?
Will, before I got on set, no, but when I was training, Will was just telling me like, yo, listen, if they setting you up, let's get character up to be like something big. So all you got to do is train and do what you got to do. Told him, I bet I came here to work. I ain't come here to play. I came here to work, came here to execute. So that's what we got. Like Will and it wasn't hands on when I was training. That was shout out to Gregory and Kurt. That was like the stunt team that we was working with. So they kept me for like 2 months working on the joint.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm sure that was a crazy experience. And when that movie came out, because the character that you got, it wasn't like one of like the major roles, but it turned out to be one of the most iconic roles because everybody remembers that scene. Were you how, like, when the reaction you got from when the movie came out, were you shocked by how many people recognized you and just to this day call you Reggie and hold you in such a high regard?
Yeah, it was. I didn't think that when I did part 2, I didn't think that it was gonna be that big. I mean, I thought it was gonna just be like a 5-minute thing, but it ended up being like so much more. So it was. I didn't expect that, but I'm just happy that it's gone so long and fans love Reggie and they backing me 100%. So I'm just happy about that.
Right. I wanted, one of the reasons why I want to have you on is because I think sometimes, actors, we get so synonymous with a role. Is it weird? I'm sure it's cool and you enjoy it, but is it like, even like 30 years later, is it still crazy that people call you Reggie and not actually by your real name?
Everybody, even after I did the movie, even my people that I know and everything, they all call me Reggie. They call me Reggie. So I'm not. I'm not. It doesn't bother me. I came to do a job. If that's what my next role, you'll probably call me something else. But I think it's probably Reggie's gonna stick probably forever, no matter what I do.
No matter what. Probably. Yeah.
But I can do other roles and everything, so I'm not trying to just get stuck on the Reggie role. I love the Reggie role. It's great, but you're gonna see more from Dennis McDonald.
Yeah. That's a big thing, and some people might say, well, you're synonymous with two of the biggest icons in the industry, but I definitely get your point on that. You don't want to get stuck in that route. So, like I said, you got involved with Bad Boys, the first one. Now we're on Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die.
No, I was the second one.
Oh, I thought you was in the first one.
No, I was too young to be in the first one. I was in part 2, and this is 4. This is my 3rd movie, but the franchise is 4.
Oh, I thought you was in 1. Okay, my mistake then. All right, so from Bad Boys 2 to now, when you showed up, you was a timid 15-year-old kid, just taking Marcus's daughter. For people who don't know, that's Martin Lawrence's character in the movie, daughter to the prom. Now you're an adult, you're married, you're a family man. How do you see the evolution of your character? Do you enjoy the way how they was able to sift your character and make it expand it instead of just keeping it, the same way it was when you first started?
Yes, I'm happy that my character has developed a whole lot, and I'm just happy my fans get to see me grow as an actor and the character grow at the same time.
Right.
And like the way they putting it together, Reggie's not going nowhere. You're gonna see a lot more from Reggie.
Yeah, there's a lot more questions I have about that, but you've been involved with 3 movies now. So when Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die, came out, before you even started filming and stuff, when did you find out that you were, being called? They wanted you to come back to shoot this movie.
That was probably about last year, give and take December or something like that. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like this is I've been working. We've been working on this for like 2 years, a year and a half. Like my scene, right? They brought me into it, so I just was just doing that. I just knew like, okay, it's time. It's time. Reggie has to be. I had to turn Reggie all the way up. I had to have Reggie not just stand at the door and be and I had to fill Reggie and make him a whole other character. He's a whole assassin, but he still has to remain a respectful person because he is a part of the Marine Corps.
Right.
And y'all don't know that he's an assassin, but y'all just know in the beginning, oh yeah, it's respectful. Oh no, I didn't eat your snacks and all that. But I had to make it like that so y'all could prepare for y'all wouldn't be prepared with what's going on next. So
Right. Oh, you know what? I just want to ask you one quick question before I talk about Bad Boys 4. When you played at Bad Boys 2, when you was playing that nervous character, did you did you come up with the character itself, like the whole nervous energy and being very timid? Because I think the reason why that scene went so well is because you played that character really well. I don't think you could have done it any different. Like, was that all you, or was there a lot of people involved with that?
no, Michael Bay had like he knew that this is my first movie, so I didn't know. My thing, I was going in there. Okay, I'm gonna play scared. I'm gonna just look like that and swallow, pause, and be scared and look like that. But he needed more from me, so he made Martin and Will's like scare me into the scene. Like Martin was sitting there like telling Will like, yo, you got my line, you stepping on my lines, like you got. He's like, yo, listen, you got mad more lines than me. Don't worry about it. You good. And then Will Smith leaves, and Martin's like, yo, you know what? I'm getting tired of this. And then they yell action, and I'm sitting there like, can you pick up again? No, sir. So it all worked out for the best.
Oh yeah, most definitely. One of the most iconic scenes. But now we're talking about Bad Boys 4, and you got involved with one of the most iconic scenes. But before we get into that, for the preparation of this role, because I know you did a piece with Entertainment Weekly, and you talked about having to train with the stunt team and getting involved with a lot of stunt work for the preparation of this role. How was that process for you? Having to learn all the physicality to the role and learning the stunts and all that stuff.
It was like every day, every night, every day we was going in, like probably like 8, 9 in the morning. About 3, 4 hours just going in on military training and stuff like that, and the choreography of the work. It wasn't hard for me. Like I caught on so quick and I did so well that they would take the footage and bring it back to the directors, and the directors would be like, well, if he could do this, then he could do that. And I was just catching on so fast that that's what you got. Like that's what you got for part 4.
Ah, yeah. You know what? I will say a lot of people, who watched it, they were really, happy for you because you got your just due. You got the role, a bigger role, and you played a much bigger pivotal scene to the movie. So filming this one, how is it different from filming it, 30 years ago? Now I wouldn't even say 30 years ago at this point for you, but from when you first started to now, how is it different for you, like filming wise? Because now you're seasoned, you have the reps under your belt. Was it easier or was it harder now with the action scenes?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't understand, or I was going in like blind. Now I got a feeling of the game, so I come in for business. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. It's not just me thinking, oh, this is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. No, this is my coworkers. All right, this is what we're doing. How this scene is gonna go? Are we gonna be here? I got more hands on with the situation.
Oh, interesting. So you got more input for this for this movie in your character.
Pretty much like they told me how they want me, how they wanted like me to be a trained killer, whatever the case may be, and I just went in. Like I didn't have more say so. Like, okay, this is the type of killer I'm gonna be, but I was more hands on like, okay, this is where you want me, just sitting there of the whole aspect of the situation. Like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be. Oh, this is where I'm at. As in for when I was younger, I was just like, okay, this is where you want me. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. So that's how that was.
Yeah. So for this one, did you work with Will and Martin closely again with this one too, or was it more of the director, some of the people behind the scenes kind of helping you, guide you with the character and the way and the vision that they wanted?
No, I worked with Will. I worked with Will. I worked with Martin. We all worked together. We worked together. We spoke. He was just telling me like, "Yo, listen, you a trained Marine. You came to do what you came to do. Let's bust this out." Like Will doesn't talk to me like I'm a new jack. Will talks to me like we've been in this before. Okay, this is what we're doing, and execute. And that's what I do every trip.
I want to ask you a quick question. Who do you think is funnier, Martin Lawrence or Will Smith?
Both of them.
I for me, because Martin, everybody knows Martin, everybody knows Fresh Prince, but Martin, he has such a big career in comedy. So I was just curious on that. Who's funny, because I know they both have their moments. So in regards to this movie for you, was it nice to see that evolution? And now, because I know you talked about leaving, you shot your scenes and you flew home, and then 4 days later you got called, hey, we need you to come back for the ending. How cool was that experience? Were you shocked to see that you was able to get the last kind of like come up and so on both of them?
Well, see, at first when they called me back, I didn't even know I was gonna be at the end. I just thought I had to come back for some extra camera shots or something like that. So then when I got back, when the script was, I'm like, I got a whole. They're like, yeah, you have a whole script. You end the whole movie. I'm like, I didn't even know. So I was like overwhelmed and blessed. Like I'm like, you're sitting there like, yo, end the whole movie. It was like, yes, you end the whole movie. The movie ends with you smiling. I'm saying, it was just all the hard work I did paid off. Like, okay, yeah, it's time.
Yeah, as a fan, it was cool to see the evolution. You went from that scene to now you're getting the last word. I think it's truly incredible. For you, what do you think is the future for Reggie? Like, now you're established, now you're an adult, you're not just some teenager anymore. Do you feel like this movie was kind of more of like a shift in a passing of guard, if you will, for the next one?
Yeah, that's what it really seems like. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they have something special for my character. So all I do is work hard and train and do the things that I have to do to make the character come to life again.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the evolution of the next one, because I think that your character is going to be a much bigger role in Bad Boys 5 whenever that comes out, because I feel like naturally you're the younger actor. They're passing the torch essentially to you, kind of. What and I did read, you mentioned Kobe Bryant. I just want to ask you about that. You're a basketball fan. I'm a major Kobe Bryant fan as well. And I did read that apparently you want to play Kobe Bryant in the movie. Is that true?
Kobe Bryant in a biopic. Kobe Bryant's my favorite basketball player of all times. When I was real young, it was Michael Jordan, but then Kobe is somebody I took a huge liking to, not only because of his basketball work, but because of his work ethic as a human being, period. I mean, he goes the extra mile. And for my role, I had to go the extra mile. So I understand a little bit about what he's talking about. So that's why I follow up on that. Like, that's my mentor when it comes to everything going on.
Yeah. And I think you had mentioned too, like you use Kobe as an inspiration when it came to acting, right? Like you use some of the energy and some of the things that he did to motivate you, right?
Yes, I would. Like I said, when I'm supposed to be in the house, in the hotel, I'm training in my hotel, where I just trained on set. So I would just make sure I kept my body ready, kept everything ready. So because it was I had a whole big scene to myself. I've never had a whole big scene to myself. So it's like, this is personal for me. I have to make sure y'all understand that Reggie is not just some little kid that's scared at the door. He's really can attack the situation.
Yeah. I do want to actually, as we wrap up a little bit, a lot of people always say, acting is easy. And, for you, I'm sure you realize it's not easy. It's a business. There's a lot of work that goes into it. When you first started, what was the hardest part, or even right now, what is the hardest part to you? Is it, memorizing the lines? Is it the action scenes? Is it, just making sure you stay prepared when it comes to when they say action? What is the hardest part for you, or the easiest?
The easiest part, but the hardest part of it is when it's with them staying in character while working. That's the hardest part. But the easiest part of it would be the action part. Like me doing the action scenes and stuff like that, that comes easy for me. So I do my own stunts too. So all of that comes easy for me. So that's what you'll see more of with me. That's the lane I'm leaning to, like black superhero, like Marvel, like that type of thing. That's where I want to go.
I was about to ask you that because I was wondering if, because I never done an action scene, like you have before. So, you, like I said, you got the badass scene of the movie. So is that the direction you feel like you want to go into, more like the action, the comedy, that type of genre going forward?
Yeah, because it comes natural. Like me doing the stunts and me playing around with the guns and the martial arts part of the situation. For some reason, it comes natural to me. So, and it's more fun than work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I would lean into that, and I'm normally funny, naturally funny, and everything like that. So everything's all going to come to play.
Now, as we wrap up, for you, if you could, if you had some input in the character Reggie, where do you feel like your character should go next? If you don't feel like answering, you don't have to. But do you feel like you have an idea of where you want your character to go next? Because I do know in the movie, you and Wilson, built that rapport, built that relationship, and it seemed like a more focus on the younger actors in the movie now. Do you have any idea of where you feel like you want the character go and going forward?
Well, with me, I would just be training Reggie to be more of an assassin, but in having a funny side and a cool side like Martin and Will, like putting both of them together in Reggie like that.
Yeah,
And
I think
we already know Armando is going to be the heartthrob of the situation. We already know that. That's good. We like that. But I just want to have the comedian part, the in Red. So I would be like on the Martin part, and Armando would be like on the Will part.
right.
But
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the whole.
right. And what do you see yourself like? Do you see yourself like? Is there any projects out there outside of Bad Boys you want to be a part of? Anything you got your eye on? Anything you got coming up? Anything like that?
I got my eye on Marvel. I got my eye on. I want to be Black Panther, the new Black Panther. It's
Oh,
opening.
oh man.
Opening. You know what I'm saying? I just I stay in my lane and look for my openings. You know what I mean? Like, and if I can come out my comfort zone and do something totally crazy, I'll do that too. Like on some real, either not even John Wick, on some real some sci-fi and stuff like that. Like I'll go there too. We just getting started, so when we throw the scripts at me, and we'll just figure it out from there. I'll execute regardless, so we'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because I want to do superhero movies too. Obviously, got the hair and all that. So is there a preference for you, like hero, villain, or like a in between? Do you have like a preference or?
I'm a Batman fan, man. I love Marvel, but I'm a Batman fan, and that's where I've been at from when I was a kid. I'm a Batman fan. I'm a Wolverine fan. I'm a Hulk fan. I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, so you're open. You DC, Marvel, whatever comes calling first, right?
Yes, whatever makes
Perfect.
sense. Whatever makes sense.
I can see you. I can see you doing Blade. I don't know if you see that, but I can see you doing Blade.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see.
Wow. Yeah. Reggie, I know you're riding high for this movie, Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die, still in movie theaters. Go check it out if you haven't. Dennis, you're an awesome person. And I'm glad to have you on because I feel like people know you as Reggie, but they don't know you as an actor behind the camera. So, no, thank you for coming on. Is there anywhere, anything you want to shout out where people can find you? Obviously, they can find your Instagram and stuff, but anything you have coming now, anything you want to shout out, anything you want to promote?
I want to promote me playing Kobe in the movie. And I'm just all directors. My email is in my on my Instagram. Just hit my email and let's work. I'm just ready to work. It's a Reggie summer, so we're gonna be turning up all summer. And everybody stay blessed and stay safe.
Absolutely. That's Dennis McDonald, aka Reggie. I'm the most charismatic man. Go check out Bad Boys Ride or Die. Reggie's been a staple in the franchise for many years, and we're gonna see what happens next going forward. So thank you, Reggie, for coming on. I called you Reggie. It's supposed to be Dennis. I can't do that. I can't do that. Yeah, but thank you for coming on, man. I always appreciate your time, and wish you took a continued success on your journey.
Thank you.